Hello, ladies. Let's talk about brows. We take our brows for granted, but you know what? Probably most of us have brows that need to be filled in. I never thought much about it, I never knew much about it, and I didn't believe that my brows needed attention, but they do because my brows and most people's brows are not very full. Now, my brows are thin from decades of plucking, and I'm not going to get any more brows. When my brows fill in or grow in, they don't grow where I want them. So this basically is the outline of the brow I have left myself with. But two things: if you wear makeup, like a full face of makeup, and you don't do your brows, your face looks unfinished. If you even have a natural face and you don't wear makeup, you know what? Sometimes brows are the one thing that you need to do. One of the girls on my team even told me that this morning, that if she leaves the house with no makeup on, there's one thing she has to do, and that's her brows, because her brows are so sparse that she is not happy with them at all. So she fills her brows in before she leaves the house, and it gives her a finished natural look. So I have two methods to do brows. One I was using before our new brow palettes came out, and the new brow palette. This is the Obsession Brow Palette. It's awesome. I'm going to show you as quickly as possible how this works, and then I'll show you my other method that I was using up until the brow palette came out, and I still use some days, and that's Addiction Shadow Palette number 1, because the browns work really well, and that way you'll get shadow out of your palette also. So there are 5 steps in here. I actually use 4, not 5. The pink doesn't really do anything for me. So they're numbered in order. Number 1, and I use this with the new brush, which is both sides are flat. This is an angled end, and this is a straight end, but they're both very, very flat for lining. So you take color number 1 with whichever end of the brush is easier for you to use. I use the angled one. Dip it in, and then you outline your brow. It's a light outline so that you can see where you need to fill in, and it won't be extremely noticeable. In fact, I can see it on parts of my eye in this larger mirror I have over here, and it's almost not noticeable in other parts. Then I am going to also go back in with the same angle brush on number 2, and I'm going to line the outside of my brow where it's thin very, very carefully, because I don't like a lot of pencil look on my skin, so I'm dealing with the thin brows I've left myself with. And I'm going to go back in, and I'm just going to fill in my brows where it needs filling in. And if you go outside the lines where you want it, all you need to do is take a wet Q-tip just with water, and you can fix anything you've put where you don't want it on your eyebrows. So I need a little bit of work at this end, and you can use the different corners to round out your brows. And as you can see, this falls off a lot on your skin. It's really, really powdery. So you want to look in the mirror when you're done and make sure you wipe that off. Then color number 3 is the color that I just don't use, because it just doesn't, I don't need the pink on my face anyplace. So number 4 is a highlight. You just rub your finger in it, and then you put it right underneath your brow. See how you can see that highlight? You want to rub it in so you don't stick out like a sore thumb, and it's going to brighten your eye. And then number 5 is a wax, which, you know what that's good for? You know how sometimes a piece of your brow will stick up or stick down and it looks horrible where it is? Well, this wax, you just rub on your brow with your finger, and your brows are going to stay where you want them for the day. So that is Brow Obsession Palette. That's how you use that. Now the other way, and look at the difference. You see how this is sparse and not filled in, and over here it's more filled in? So from a distance, whoops, I'm tripping on toys. From a distance, sometimes people's brows get lost, but if you line them and fill them, they're not going to be lost. So you can see the whole face from a distance. So the other method that I was using was Addiction Shadow Palette number 1, because this is the brown palette. So I was taking our round crease brush and I was mixing it in the two colors Chipper and Forthright, because Forthright is too dark for me and Chipper is too light for me. So I'm dabbing my brush in both of these colors, and I would use the round crease brush for this part of my eyebrow right here. See how quickly and easily that filled that in? And because it's round right here, this brush was perfect for me. And you can go back and put as much on as you want. Looks like this is going to be a little bit darker for me. So I'm going to put another coat of this on. And I only go in the thickest part of my brow. Then I am taking a liner brush. This happens to be the angled liner shader brush. And I was mixing this in both of these colors. And doing the ends of my brows. And that's how I was doing my brows before. Now, you can shape your brows any way you want. Something that they say is these brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins, so they don't have to match perfectly, because only you are going to know if they're not exactly the same shape, unless they're grossly misshapen from side to side. So that's how I was doing my brows, but I didn't have a wax to keep pieces where they fall. So that was my only complaint about using palette number 1, was that sometimes I still had these straggly brows here or there. But now I want to show you why maybe you would like palette number 1 instead of the brow palette. The brow palette itself is $39. Great, great palette, especially with the wax. I love the wax. I love the highlighter. But this, if you're concerned about how many products you can purchase, you can use this as the highlighter. You won't have the wax, but you also get a palette for eyeshadows. So I am going to show you the neutral look that you can get with palette number 1, just one set of colors on my eyes. So I love this angled sponge shader brush for shadow. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the color Sincere, which is a shimmer, on the inside from the inside to about 2/3 of the way over on my eye. This is the way I like to do my eyes for a smoky look. And I'm going to go up a little bit in the crease with this. Then I'm going to take my crease brush again, and I'm going to go into, I think I'll use the color Swanky today because it's a shimmer. And if it's not dark enough, I can add more. And I'm going to put that on the outside corner, and it is dark. You can see the contrast. I'm gonna go back and load it some more, and I'm gonna do my crease from the center where my pupil is to the outside. And you're just gonna roll this brush back and forth till you get the desired color. See how there is a darkened color on my eye right here, and it brings out my eye. Then if you happen to have these not the way you want them, or one seems too dark or seems to stop abruptly next to the other color, take a dry blending end, any dry brush, and just blend it a little bit. You can blend it in, you can blend it up, you can blend it in here, and that's how you do your eye with that smoky eye look. Now I'm going to go do this eye with a slightly darker color on the outside just to show you the contrast. So I'm going to go back with the Sincere again, and I'm going to do from the inside edge about 2/3 of the way over. And this video is taking a while because I'm doing my eyes more slowly and I'm talking to you and I'm showing you multiple things. But literally, once you do your own eyes a few times, you will be able to do your eyes so fast you won't believe it. I can do my eyes, brows, shadows, liners, and lashes in 5 minutes. So a few times with it and you will be so good at it. are probably, a lot of people are scared of doing their brows because, or I'm sorry, their whole eyes, because they think it's going to take too long in the morning. It really doesn't. So I'm going to go back in with the crease brush again, and this time I'm going to go with Chipper. It's not a shimmer, but it's more brown than the Swanky that I used on the other eye. So I'm going to load it with Chipper. I'm going to do the outside corner. See how much darker that is? Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to roll it in the crease a little bit. I'm going to load it again and put a little more from the middle to the outside and just roll it back and forth. And there's a lot more color on this eye than on this eye. So I'll blend it just a little bit with the blending end. And there you have it. Sorry for the bangs getting in the way, but there's 2 brows done 2 different ways, 2 eyes with slightly different colors. And I'm not going to take the time to do lashes. This video is already long enough. I apologize for that. But you have 2 choices for brows, and I am actually going to offer, oh shoot, I dropped it, both of these to you today on sale, because I was putting new products on sale, but since I'm showing you these for brows, only palette number 1 is on sale. Not not all 5 palettes, just palette number 1 in case you want it for brows. So any questions, message me, comment below. Happy to help. Have a great day. Bye.